Now that you've determined which carry position is right for you, we should talk about what you ought to carry with you besides your firearm.
Why would I do that?
After all, not every self-defense situation requires using or threatening to use deadly force. So you don't want your firearm to be your only option.
A gun is the quickest way.
If it is, and you end up using it when it isn't legally appropriate, you may be in for a tough legal battle, even if you didn't fire a single shot and no one got hurt.
How is that possible?
A quick disclaimer, I am not an attorney,
No shit, Sherlock.
and the advice I share today is not and should not be taken as legal advice. So let's get to it. As a rule of thumb, your firearm should be an absolute last resort option used only when all else fails and you are in imminent danger of being very badly hurt or killed by your attacker. And even that is not as cut and dry as it sounds. Now, there are a few non-lethal options you can carry in addition to your firearm as part of your everyday carry setup. You don't have to carry all of them.
Thank goodness!
But whichever ones you decide to carry with you, take the time to learn their impact and be well trained to use them. With that said, let's take a look at the most popular and practical non-lethal options. Number 1, pepper spray.
Oh, wait a minute. I can't have anything spicy.
It is my primary non-lethal option. It is a very unpleasant experience for the recipients and most times can stop an assailant in its tracks and give you the time to escape further confrontation, or if escape isn't possible, time to reach for your firearm if legally appropriate. The drawbacks are that it can blow in the wind or ricochet off a surface back at you and cause you discomfort too. That may hinder your escape and leave you vulnerable still. It may also make it difficult to use your firearm if you can't see or breathe.
Well, that sucks.
Pocket or purse-sized canisters hold between 2 and 3 squirts and go about 10 feet. That may work with 1 or 2 attackers provided you don't miss. And as such, close proximity may not give you enough space to operate before the attackers are on you. Let me be clear that pepper spray can on rare occasions cause death. It could be an allergic or other chemical reaction in the recipient. Some states may consider pepper spray as a lethal weapon, so make sure you know how your local laws apply to pepper spray. Number 2, a tactical pen. It's a pen that acts, well, like a pen.
It does, huh?
But it's usually made from a more durable and hard material that can withstand the pressure of an attack. The pointy edge can cause extreme pain and incapacity to an assailant. If used effectively, 1 or 2 blows may serve as a strong deterrent and make the attacker think twice before pursuing further attacks. Again, used properly, it can give you the space and time to escape the situation and get to safety, or if escape isn't possible, time to reach for your gun.
The pen is mightier than the sword.
Against 1 or 2 attackers, it can be effective. However, it can only be used in close contact situations and assuming the attacker hasn't gotten a hold of you before you got to it. And if there are multiple attackers, you'll need fighting skills more than a pen. Number 3, a flashlight. If you're new to everyday carry, that may sound odd, but tactical flashlights, even pocket-sized ones, can be a powerful no-contact weapon. Tactical flashlights have a much more powerful light than an ordinary flashlight you use around the house. These lights are so strong that they can blind an attacker just as badly during the day as they do at night. Furthermore, they can often make the attacker sick enough to cause vomiting.
I'm not cleaning this shit up.
Once again, giving you the space and time to escape if possible, or if legally appropriate, get to your main weapon. Number 4, a stun gun. These come in pocket or purse size and can even be carried in a designated holster. They're quite effective if you're able to make contact with the attacker and there is minimal resistance between the current generated and the attacker's skin. It jolts an assailant with a painful electric shock that releases their grip of you and incapacitates them long enough for you to escape or reach for a more persuasive mode of defense.
Persuasive? And why would I need persuasive?
And number 5, an expandable baton. These can also fit in a pocket, pouch, or purse. They elongate with a quick flick of the wrist. They're made of strong material that can give and take quite a bit of abuse.
I love it when you talk dirty.
1 or 2 strong strikes can be a good deterrent, inflict pain and injury, and give you time and space. You know the rest. The reason it's important to have at least one or two non-lethal options as part of your everyday carry setup is because if you find yourself in a legal battle, there is no doubt that the question of whether using a gun was your only option will come up. You want to make your case extremely difficult to argue by showing that you tried your best to avoid confrontation with and causing harm to anyone, and that you were prepared in advance to defend yourself with means other than lethal force. Now, we touched on the multiple attacker issue with some of these non-lethal options.
Now, see, that's the question I was going to ask you.
If you are facing multiple attackers, there is a clear disparity of force. Such a scenario may likely be looked at as a situation where the odds are stacked against you far more.
Wow. Is that a good thing?
As such, the use of deadly force may be required more urgently to avoid great bodily harm and/or death. Again, I urge you to get familiar with your local self-defense laws. Violent attacks come unannounced and are usually over in seconds. Situational awareness is your first go-to everyday carry weapon. If you're not carrying your situational awareness hat on any given day, your setup is sorely lacking. Once attackers get past that and are in your space, your reaction time leaves little, if any, room for error. You must be on autopilot. That's why I recommend that whatever you include in your everyday carry setup should be in the same place always. For example, always put your non-lethal options in the same pocket or compartment in your purse or backpack. Carry your firearm and spare magazine, if any, in the same way, and train regularly to put these weapons into action from these positions. So when you have no time to think and your autopilot turns on, you can find your weapons exactly where you put them and spring into action.
We was just about to spring into action, Captain.
I can tell you, as both a past victim and an instructor who has students who were, that although being a victim seems far-fetched to many of you, it isn't. Having an everyday carry setup is also not a guarantee you'll come out on top if you were attacked, but it sure as heck increases your chances exponentially. None of the items I spoke of today have to be your choice of a self-defense setup, but you ought to have something, be it martial arts, a big dog, or a bodyguard if you can afford one.
Bodyguard for what?
The government and local police cannot protect you unless they show up at the same time the attackers do. And that's not happening. Until and if they show up, it's your everyday carry setup and your ability to use it that will determine what law enforcement finds when it finally does arrive. So, if you're serious about being able to protect yourself and your loved ones, go and put together your everyday carry setup and please leave a comment and let me know what you decided to do and why. You never know. You might inspire me to update mine. If you enjoy this video, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and watch the next video right here. Train hard, often, and safely, and I'll see you at the range.